All right, hello grade threes, and today I am going to show you how to make a modeling clay or plasticine T-Rex. Isn't he cute? So what you're going to need is a little bit of white, and then remember T-Rex dinosaurs can be any color you want. We don't know what color they are. Till somebody gets a time machine, we're not going to. So you can pick whatever color you want for your dinosaur. You'll need white and then one other color. What you need to split it up into is 4 kind of medium-sized balls. Should be about the size, like as round as about a quarter or a loonie, and then one bigger one. All right, you'll also need a few toothpicks to make this. So we're gonna make this little guy. I'm just gonna put him over here to chill out and watch as we work. So the first thing we're going to make is the body. So I'm going to take my big piece. Now, if you're using plasticine that you've just opened in a piece like this, you would divide it in half. One piece with the body, the other one divide into 4. And it might be a bit stiff. So if plasticine is stiff, you just have to kind of work it back and forth in between your hands to get it to soften up. Don't work it too much or it gets kind of squishy and then it gets hard to use. So if you're finding it's getting squishy, just put it down for a bit, let it cool. So I'm gonna start with my big piece, which is gonna be the body. Start by just rolling it into a ball. You can roll it on the table or you can roll it in between 2 hands. It does not have to be a perfect circle. This is just to kind of smooth it out and where we're gonna start. Okay, so once I've got my ball shape, T-Rex does not have a round body, so we have to kind of shape it. So his body's gonna be kind of raindrop shaped almost. So at one side, I'm gonna use all my fingers and my thumb, and I'm just gonna pinch, turning my hand to pinch. So one side kind of gets pointed, and I kind of wanna do the same thing with the other side. So pinch it out, just pinching, using all your fingers in that kind of like a puppet hand to make it until you've kind of, and turning it so it doesn't all go on one side. Just turning it around, pinching it, using your hands and your fingers to make a shape like this. Okay, kind of raindrop shape. So that's gonna be the body of our T-Rex. Now this is gonna be the front, this is gonna be the back. So then this is gonna be my neck. I'm just gonna stretch it out a little bit. Next thing I'm gonna make is my tail. So I'm gonna take one piece of my plasticine, my medium size, and I'm going to roll it. Now, the way you make a tail shape, so you want it to be kind of skinnier on one side and wider at the base, put your hand at an angle and press a little harder with these fingers. So I'm gonna do that, rolling back and forth. Oops, there he falls over. Come on. Just does not want to stand. Okay, so I'm rolling back and forth. Pressing harder on one side. Not super hard. I don't want this to get too skinny. But to make that like ice cream cone shape that their tails are, you press a little bit harder on one part and a little bit less on the other end so that you get it coming to a point here and it should be wide up here. I'm going to attach that to the back, so to the rounder side. The thing with plasticine is if I just stick it on like this, it will fall off. Like it will happen. So what you need to do is when you push it on, you're gonna smear. Fun word to say. You're gonna take a finger and you're just gonna smear by gently dragging it down to connect it all the way around. Okay. It's gonna go all the way around, just connecting my tail to the non-pointed side. And then you can just kind of pinch to make the shape work for you. There we go. Kind of looks like a tadpole right now. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is his head. So I'm gonna take another piece here and I'm gonna roll it into a ball. Another one of my medium pieces, roll it into a ball. Always good to start with a ball shape. Okay, so now I am gonna make the head. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use that kind of puppet hand again and my fingers, and I'm gonna gently pinch to give him his kind of snout shape. Now he has, T-Rex has a bit of a bump up here, so I'm gonna just press like this, making his face come out, just using my fingers to model it until I have a shape that I like for his head. That bump up here. There we go. So I got kind of a head shape here just by pinching gently to mold it to the shape I want. Okay, now I'm going to turn my body up a bit. I'm going to attach his head. Same thing as the tail. You have to smear. So you're going to add it on, and then you're just going to take your finger and smear it on. His body, that teardrop shape, is acting as the neck for us, because if we tried to put a long neck on him, he would just fall over. So we're just going to smear it down. You can kind of pinch a bit. Just work with it until you get a T-Rex body shape that you like. I'm going to kind of just pinch it up a bit so his head is up. Perfect. I am going to, now I need to make the legs. So you're going to take your last 2 medium pieces, okay, and you are going to make sure they're about the same size and roll them into cylinders. Okay, so a cylinder about like your pinky, maybe ring finger. Okay, and I'm gonna make this one the same size. Want it to be about the same length and about the same thickness. Okay, make sure they're not too short because we do have to stick a toothpick through them. So these are about the same size. This one's a little longer. Use my toothpick to just break off a bit. Perfect. Oops. That's why we're using toothpicks. So now we're going to take the legs. We're going to start by making the feet at the bottom. So I'm just going to pinch to make a pointed foot. Okay, don't pinch too hard or you'll get a really flat foot like that. Don't want that. No super fat feet. Just want to kind of pinch it out a bit so you get that kind of claw feeling. Then I can take one of my toothpicks. I'm actually just going to press in to make it look like he's got those claws on his bottom foot. Okay, this is the next step. If your cylinders aren't quite the same height, you can always push one down a bit too. Now, you need 2 toothpicks here because we're going to connect the body to the legs. I'm going to stick the legs right beside each other, kind of push them together, and I'm going to put a toothpick in each one. So I'm going to stick it all the way down. So just a little bit sticks out at the top like that. This is what we're going to connect our dinosaur to. So it looks like that. The reason we're doing this is to help him stay upright. Just like you have bones to help you stay upright, he needs some toothpicks. So we're going to put those in. Now I'm going to take my body and I'm going to attach my legs. So I'm going to kind of figure out where I want them. I think I want them about there. And I'm just going to push it on. Okay, so now he is on his feet. But if I leave him like that, like I said, 1, it looks weird, and 2, they won't stay. So I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to smear those legs up onto his body so that they don't come off when we're moving them around. All the way around, smear, smear. Okay, so there we go. We have our T-Rex body. Make sure he stands. You might kind of have to angle him so he stands, but this guy's good. If you make the tail go down a bit, that can kind of help balance it out. So, but just kind of turn him until he stands nicely. Next thing, T-Rex is teeny arms. So you should have a little bit left over to make his arms. They don't need to be that big. So you're going to divide that to 2, and I'm just going to roll out a skinny snake. I might only need 1 piece because he had big head and tiny arms. So I'm making a snake, just using my fingers because I'm being delicate. I'm gonna break it in half, and at one end, I'm gonna push that in to be the claws that he had. And now I'm just going to attach them to the front like this. And again, just gently kind of smear so they don't fall off. But be gentle because these are small, so they're going to be a little delicate. And you can kind of position them into the T-Rex arms. There we go. So we've got his body there. The last thing we have to do is just the eyes. So that's why you need the little bit of white. Now, and the teeth actually. So if you were using a really dark color for your plasticine and it's all over your hands, you need to go wash them before you do this part. I use light green, didn't really transfer over, but if you use like red or black or some of the blues, it will really end up on your hands. So you're gonna wash them first before you use the white. And before you use the white too, this is when you could get like another color and you could add stripes, you could add some little spikes, you can decorate your dinosaur to whatever pattern your heart desires. Because remember, we don't know what they look like. So if you want them to have polka dots, T-Rex can have polka dots. Live your best life. So the last thing we're gonna do once your hands are washed, once you've added all the details, is the eyes and the teeth. So I'm gonna start by taking my toothpick, one of my toothpicks, and I'm just gonna roll it across where his mouth is gonna be. Okay, so I'm just rolling it, that big toothy mouth. Like that. I'm not going all the way through, it just makes kind of an indent. Don't try to draw it, that doesn't work. You need to roll your toothpick back and forth. Okay, now I'm gonna take my white and I'm gonna break off really teeny pieces, like so teeny. Look how teeny that is. And I'm just gonna stick them in his mouth. Super teeny, just like little specks of white to make his terrifyingly sharp teeth. Yeah, see? Teeny teeny is the name of the game here. And if you want to skip this step and have him have a closed mouth, you are welcome to. I just wanted to show those iconic scary teeth. Last thing our dinosaur needs is its eyes. We're going to take a little bit bigger pieces, but you still want them to be pretty small. If you use big pieces, your T-Rex just ends up with like bug eyes and it looks weird. So I got 2 pieces here. There we go. They're about the same size. I'm gonna roll them in gently into a ball, and then I am going to attach them to his head. And there you go. We have our terrifying, actually kind of adorable T-Rex. I can't wait to see how yours turn out.